Have the conversation. Don't force it on somebody. And then don't go and now, well, you're not acting right. I'm going to go ahead and get another wife. That's not how you have that discussion. We had the discussion. We was arguing, and the food wasn't right at the time. And I said, I'm going to get another wife. That's, again, immaturity. Salaam alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Nazir.
And I'm his wife, Coach Fatimah.
And I am Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as your favorite relationship and polygyny coaches, and authors of the new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Today, we want to discuss something that we encourage all the time, some of the reasons why you should do this. And if you don't do this, you also need to be made aware of some things that may happen or what may be called blowback or fallout. All right, and that's the topic of hard or difficult conversations, specifically related to polygyny.
Let's go say it.
All right, specifically related to polygyny because in today's society, it's considered taboo. It's considered a no-no. It's a very touchy, sensitive topic and subject. All right, and we weren't raised around anybody practicing it, all right, to begin with. Of course, there was monogamy and all kind of cheating and infidelity, all kind of stuff that went on. That was just seen as a part of normal dysfunction, okay? But some of the reasons we're going to share with you are very important. And again, we encourage you to have it whether or not you intend to ever practice it. All right, we encourage you to do it prior to marriage with like premarital counseling, or as you're growing and evolving throughout your marriage, no matter what stage you're in. So what are some of the reasons that people should choose to have these difficult conversations regarding polygyny?
Well, one major reason that I had was just confronting the fear, because we fear change. So if we don't talk about our fears and our husbands don't get to express theirs, because they have some, they're just different than ours. They don't have the same intensity. They might not have the same emotion. The majority of the time, they don't have the same emotion because the men are the ones that are practicing polygyny. But if we don't confront those fears or have a discussion about what's going on with us, then we don't get clarity because we're left with our assumptions. And our assumptions can be very imaginative. And the scenarios we come up with and the different the different attributes that are good that we possess, we rob ourselves of those things because we feel as though another wife is a replacement for us. And that's just not the case. That's just not the case. So yeah, just having that conversation and talking about our fears and sharing those things.
I like that you talked about clarity, because that is so true. And the assumptions. When you don't have clarity, you will feel these different things and have these different assumptions. So I totally agree about that being a very important part, being an important reason. And when you get clarity, you can find out a lot of things about you that you may not even know. And we spoke about that in a number of videos before about starting to find out more about ourselves, and it'd probably be some traumas that may be brought up later and you wouldn't even know about, and some things that you may feel, which you found out there are some things called negative core beliefs that you may have that can spawn from not discussing something that as heavy or touchy as a topic as polygyny, and if it was to happen and come about in your life and everything like that. So being able to get that clarity, like my co-wife, Coach Fatimah said, and being able to feel like you're in a safe space where you can discuss your feelings, your insecurities, your emotions, or whatever the case may be. We'd like to interrupt this video to let you guys know to make sure you are registered for the Women's Polygyny Masterclass. Yes, it's our 4-part Polygyny Masterclass with your coaches, Coach Nyla.
And Coach Fatimah.
And we are going to talk about different things in preparing and thriving and growing in polygyny.
Yeah, and your co-wife connection. Everybody asks us, so we're going to go there. We're going to talk about all those things. We really hope you guys join us.
So make sure you click the link in the description and don't forget to register. We'll see you soon. Now let you get back to the video. Also, allow your husband to understand, and I'm speaking to the wives, of course, allow your husband to have that safe space as well, where they are able to be transparent and talk to you about that as well. If he so happens to think about it, or want to do it later, or whatever the case may be, to be able to know that he can still come to you and discuss what's going on without, I want to say without judgment, but without ridicule. I guess that's what I want to say, without ridicule. So knowing that you guys are still together, in it to win it, but be able to feel safe enough with each other to discuss the ups and downs and highs and lows and what could possibly come from that, if it was to be a reality and not just a theory.
Indeed. It's I guess a barometer, or taking the temperature of your relationship. It really goes to the level of things you can discuss openly and freely. All right, no matter what it may be, your likes, dislikes, your fears, sharing your vulnerabilities, your goals, all of these types of things, without fear of something being, thrown down and thrown out, or dismissed, or disrespect, whatever it may be. All of these things are important. So, of course, we encourage, to have it. And even if prior to, maybe you had a decision about polygyny. For example, when I initially got married, Coach Fatimah, I was 19 years old. I wasn't thinking about polygyny. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about how I'm going to be a better man than my father and make monogamy work. You know what I'm saying? But as part of our evolution, and my evolution in growing throughout marriage and learning different things and so on, and being open to the idea of polygamy, I never threw it off. No, I never do anything like that. It wasn't even a realistic thing. So being able to have that conversation in an adult fashion, that you have the conversation, things might get heated, might get sad, might get all kind of emotions experienced, but we still can love each other through it, is very important. All right, because part of that blowback goes to, all right, well, I can't talk about it, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'll go ahead and get married, do this, and I'll just say something later, or not say something later, which is like ridiculous. But those type of things happen, and then it's like, okay, well, why didn't you? Listen, we're all adults. All right. And of course, it's best practices to be able to speak about it beforehand, which is why we're talking about it now and sharing with you what you should do. Now, to the level of detail and all that type of stuff, or making plans and arrangements for a wedding and everything, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about whether or not polygyny can be, will be, may be,
The topic,
and where a person stands at that moment. That's it. Because the blowback again comes, well, you didn't tell me this and that. Now, how dare you change in your life? You're supposed to be the same as we were when we first got married. All of these types of things and assumptions go along with that, and that's not fair. So here's the other part. The man would be the one that practices polygyny. But both of us, both the husband and a wife, man and a woman, can discuss it. We're adults. If you have concerns, whether that's insecurities or fear of replacement, all these types of assumptions that are normally all the way to the extreme, then discuss those. All right, get clarity, as the ladies just got done mentioning. All right, as the man, you got to have that discussion, sit in your discomfort and deal with the stuff.
Get the courage.
And be able to deal with it as adults. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to force it on the husband. Well, I want to talk about polygamy. He says he's not interested. Well, cool. If that's what it is, then that's kind of what it is. He may not ever be interested in it, which is okay.
Yeah.
But have the conversation. Don't force it on somebody. And then don't go and now, well, you're not acting right. I'm going to go ahead and get another wife. That's not how you have that discussion. We had our discussion. We was arguing, and the food wasn't right at the time. And I said, I'm going to get another wife. That's, again, immaturity. All right, but doing it and attempting to get clarity and understanding from a place of love in your marriage and moving forward, than a place of ridicule and challenge and so on and so forth. That in and of itself, being able to have a conversation, helps you develop a deeper level of connection in and of itself.
Right. And I think that's a good thing too, having that connection and not allowing the lack of speaking about things as important as that to cause discord later, where you have feelings of mistrust or hurt or betrayal or things like that, because like I thought we were better than that. I thought we were better than that. And that goes on both ends, where it's like, okay, I thought we were better than that, then we can speak about anything. We can speak freely. So being able to be in that position to say, okay, we're going to have the uncomfortable conversation or, and it may have some uncomfortable feelings that goes with this conversation. However, that doesn't change the way I feel about you, as my wife. That doesn't change the way I feel about you as my husband. It's just that, there are going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some things that I may agree with that you won't agree with, and these type of things like that. And polygyny is no different it's a different topic, but it's nothing different of having things that you agree on and don't agree on, but knowing that you guys can have that conversation and say, this person understands me or trying to understand me, and we can still go through difficult times and difficult things. Everything's not going to be always, yes, you're going to hear me say it. If you remember and you know what I'm saying, sunshines and rainbows, kittens and unicorns and all that other good stuff. It's not going to be that all the time. And to be able to have those difficult conversations, definitely shows where your level of maturity and your connection is in your marriage.
It's freeing. It's very freeing.
Indeed, and the sooner the better.
Yep.
The sooner the better, because you don't know who you're married to. They may have some whole deep-seated connections or issues or triggers and so on that polygyny may bring out. You might not even know. You may not know that this person loves you to death and everything is great and talk about anything and I'm there for you, I'm your best friend, but just don't talk about polygyny. Because I'm going to make your life miserable. Everybody's going to know because I'm going to want revenge. All right, and making fun of that.
The woman in that comment said
exactly.
That.
I was going to clarify that in a second. So that was, mentioned about somebody, just the thought of her husband, even pursuing, not even that he did, but if he wanted that, she, vowed to make his life miserable openly and, seeking revenge. Nevertheless, the sooner the better, because you know who you're married to. Before it gets murky and muddied and things with children, that's ideal. But just because something is ideal doesn't mean that that's just the way it is. All right, so work to have the conversation, ask permission to have the conversation, and do it as adults and come out on the other end of it with better connection and understanding. And at least the ability to do so will help enrich and strengthen your relationship prayerfully and go from there. Anything else, lady?
I don't have much
Well,
to say.
That's it.
All right, cool. So leave in the comment section, do what's difficult. Which reminds me of one of my mentors' quotes. He was like, if you want a hard life, do what's easy, have a hard life. Want an easier life? Do what's difficult, have an easier life. So put do what's difficult in the comment section. We're going to leave you some GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally.
Loving fearlessly.
And connecting on a higher level every single day. Salaam alaikum. Peace. Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships.
And make sure you sign up for our email list, and you can actually email us at support@Outstanding Personal Relationships, where you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored, as well as exclusive access to our lives and bonuses.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more polygyny education, make sure you visit polygamymasterclass.com. Now, if you're looking for coaching or counseling with either Coach Fatimah or Coach Nyla, you can find them at.
Make sure you visit me at CoachFatimah.com.
And myself at CoachNyla.com.
That's how we can help you. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.